Hello, it is already middle March in US Zone 7, and I am so happy to see flowers coming up like this. This muscari, last fall, I put the bulbs in there, and this is hyacinths, white hyacinths I inherited from previous owner of this particular lot. But they are so nice to see all the flowers coming up at this season. And what I'm thinking is that always about this Japanese custom of Hanami. Hanami in Japan is very special meaning for people there. Um, I think the cherry blossoms are planted all over Japan, and to celebrate this coming spring season. And but at the same time, those cherry blossoms is like 1 week to 2 weeks they bloom, they all go. So I think Japanese people really resonated with this feeling of everything changes and nothing remains the same, or something like kind of a philosophy there. But anyway, when the cherry blossom blooms, many people go out for picnic and drinking mostly under the cherry tree and enjoy that particular outing. So I realized I do that here in Zone 7 in the US, and one tree, flowering trees prevalent here planted on the street is this Canary pear. Other name is Bradford pear. It's planted all over the place, and it's planted too much, sometimes I would say. And Canary pear is notorious for more or less like a short-lived tree, and also branches break easily. So it's not that good choice for ornamental trees. But anyway, people love it, especially landscaper love this particular flower. So that's why they just continuously plant along the streets. I'm so glad that I could see those today, and yeah, it is spectacular. If kind of wait for long winter for spring to come, and this is definitely a welcome sight of the early spring. And also springtime, the weather is kind of a precarious as well. So anytime the cold snap come, if the very cold snap come this time, they're all damaged. Those flowers are all damaged. But so far, I think we are having a good luck. Those pear tree blooming fantastically, tremendously gorgeous when it's bloom like this. And more or less like all the leaves hasn't come out yet. So that's why it is very spectacular to see only white colors there on the tree. And that particular feeling of massive flowering occurring is something to behold. Yeah, so yeah, it is kind of reminds me of the Japanese Hanami season, and I'm glad that I could do Hanamis here, even though we don't have much cherry tree. Cherry trees doesn't grow well here in the very hot, dry zone 7 climates. So I'm satisfied with this pear tree. This particular tree is, I think it's pear tree. I don't think it's not the cherry tree because leaves looks like a pear tree to me, but it's very different from the other, Bradford pear tree. So this is like a newly planted trees here, and I don't think this is a cherry, but I'm not sure though. Yeah, sometimes like flowers are very, very similar. Yeah. So, when I was in Japan, they have even like smallest places, my old hometown, population 7,000 at the time. They have two places they massively planted cherry trees. And that particular massive planting is also, kind of reminds me of that cherry tree is, it is like a passion for Japanese people. And during the blooming time, everybody goes out to have a picnic under the cherry tree. And there is a festival held during that time as well. So, if you go to the park where all the stages of music are playing and everything, and so it's a festive atmosphere there. And so I remember vividly, even now, that I went with my family and sitting on somebody's lap and eating some food and drinking, and this person was very, very nice to me. I was like 5 or 4 years old at the time. I still remember that experience. And also the weather was so nice and warm. Winter was over, and everybody's welcoming spring. So that particular feeling, even now, I haven't had that type of a cherry blossom viewing for over, 60 years or something. But still vividly remember the particular happiness I was experiencing at that time. And here, not so many people go out to see the pear tree like this, even though it's very, very pretty. I don't see many people taking pictures or anything that much. But yeah, it's worthwhile to walk around and see them. And not only pear tree, there is red bud start to bloom also, and some other flowering trees like cherry sometimes, and the crab apple, plum, things like that. So yeah, I think I love this particular season, and everything reminds me of the cyclic nature on Earth. That every spring this particular thing repeats, and the people kind of are rejuvenated because of that. And that particular thing is very, very nice. And I really, wish that everybody who are coming out from hibernation of the cold spring, welcome to the warm spring and hot summer, incoming hot summer. Yeah, the life is beautiful, and you should be taking advantage of it. Yeah, yeah. So, I think in the U.S., for example, they kind of plant the same type of flowering crabapple, flowering pear trees, redbud, all these things along the street, which is very nice. Usually streets are probably in this area, the elm tree, Chinese elm tree was planted because they are very hardy, disease resistance. But among them, this Canary pear are planted here, and it is in this particular season very very nice. Fall color is also very very nice too, and so yeah, this one has two advantage for planting. But unfortunately, it's more or less like at the stems are breaking and are not so long living, and that's yeah, you have to live with it.